from the South Point studio. The perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yeah. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Oreo.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock, I go, ah! Ah!
Oh! Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
Once you've satisfied your hunger, get ready for more of the hottest casino games in Vegas. Our 24-hour, 30-table non-smoking poker room proudly hosts all the most popular poker games with a variety of betting limits. Visit the poker room for a schedule of daily tournaments. Whether you're going to hold 'em or fold 'em, the best place for poker is at South Point Casino. You'll notice that our craps tables are usually the loudest in the casino. If you've never played, join one of our free craps lessons to find out what makes this game so exciting. Check with the craps dealer for schedules and give it a roll. Bingo is also an exciting way to spend your time. We offer 7 sessions of bingo every day. Bingo! And each session includes a cash ball jackpot, 12 bingo games, a progressive double action game, and a $10,000 bonus coverall. Electronic units are available. If you haven't played bingo with us, give it a try today. Guests can also get in on the action at our one-of-a-kind race and sports books. 2 separate rooms designed to maximize your experience and comfort. Our sports book, with over 400 seats, puts you right in the middle of the action, 24 hours a day.
So Georgia quarterback Carson Beck is entering the transfer portal and not entering the NFL draft. I guess he didn't want to take the pay cut, or it's probably just easier to Snapchat chicks on campus. Roll the open. Ryan? What's happening, everybody? We are on day 2 of the 5 days of big time football. Thanks for watching the show. The program's a mix of sports, comedy, conversation, viral videos, and some educated gambling advice. If you listened to Joe D'Amico yesterday, you went 3-0. I'm your host, Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And today's show, we will run into the weekend happy and excited for more football, just like this Notre Dame fan last night. Jeff, this guy's very excited. He has his Notre Dame helmet on, picks up a boombox, blasting the song, and he sets it down very carefully, and then he just dives into snow. I don't know if that's Rudy. Snow Angel. That's first-degree frostbite right there. Little throw, little LeBron. Dog's freaked out. And he looks a little cold. Probably not as cold as me when I jumped in a pool last week. But nonetheless, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, on the show, we have a big show for you today. It's Friday. Why not? Joining us via the video in the second half of our hour, it is the return of Dave Dameshek. Dave has been here before, fellow Pittsburgher, friends with Chris Andrews. He will be on the show to talk NFL action, and it's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So the co-anchor of the show is the OG host here at South Point Studios, and yet he's far younger than me. The next head coach of the New York Jets, Jeff Parles. Jeff, I heard you're in contention for that.
I mean, they're casting a wide enough net. I might actually find my way into the net by the time of it. Also, who's not younger than you at this point? Let's be real. I mean,
jeez.
Wow.
Wow. All right. So Dave Dameshek, is he ready to go? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Andrews may or may not stop by to fill some time to take away from Jeff after I'm sorry. Comment.
That was
you son of a. I don't mind.
That was about a 3 out of 10 on the mean scale.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like Jeff is a little bitter right now. But let's get into it right now, shall we? Jeff and I, we haven't seen each other and I haven't talked about this yet, but we faced off in the fantasy football championship. How'd that go down?
I mean, you won. You were supposed to win.
No, I won. Everyone made fun of my team.
You're up 30 points going to the second week.
The commissioner of our league made fun of my team, and if only the commissioner were here right now, Oh, my God, he is, ladies and gentlemen. Directing our show today is Ryan McCormick. Ryan does have a microphone. Ryan is the commissioner of the league. Jeff was critical that the playoffs went to week 18.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay in the grand scheme of things, Frank.
It is.
We aim to make you feel better about yourself.
Dude, I had
and
one
we
of the
managed to do something that we didn't even think was possible at the beginning of the season.
Which is?
You winning the
There's
fantasy
no way
league,
I thought I would win.
Which is pathetic for everyone involved.
The only reason I won was Jonnu Smith. Picking up Jonnu Smith off of waivers.
Jonnu Smith.
He came alive.
Stupid.
Speaking...
Great fantasy. Great thing fantasy football is.
Look, we both begrudgingly did. We both went into it. I believe there's a payment owed. I could check with the commissioner.
I'm going to jump in about the payment.
Yes,
here.
please.
So, Jeff, in second place, will be getting $50.
He gets 50?
50, yes. Sean, in third place, will be getting his money back of $20.
There you go.
For first place, we are going to put it to the Punchies. The prize money of $130.
Yes.
It will be a punchy vote of whether or not it will go towards your Pittsburgh
No.
or whether you will be awarded your $130.
The Pittsburgh money, penalty money.
Vote for Pittsburgh penalty money.
The Pittsburgh penalty money is for a group outing to be determined. That was always the thing.
Yes, so that would be $130. That would be officially there for a group outing.
Of all days for Ryan to be here on the day, I want the cash because it was cash given. We'll talk about this later.
It's up to the Punchies.
It's not up to the Punchies.
The Punchies got to do it. Come on, Punchies. Do the right thing.
Reno Paul. Wait, we're not even getting to roll call yet. We're getting ahead of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Something fun?
What's that?
Right, Reno Paul.
No, well, we're going to find out on roll call. We'll find
okay,
out. Jeff, what did you think of the Notre Dame Penn State game last night? I saw you tweeting during the game.
Oh, I mean, look, the Notre Dame won. We keep the future alive to the national title game. As I talked to young McCormick before the show, I actually added to my Notre Dame futures in a creative way.
You had a future on Notre Dame?
Yes, from pre-tournament.
Oh, wow.
So I added yesterday Notre Dame over Texas in the national title game and Notre Dame over Ohio State.
Okay.
Which, once you take the numbers, it was 12-1 and 8-1 respectively.
Okay.
Knock them down a unit because, of course, you're automatically got to lose one of the two.
Right.
But it was better than the 5-1, 6-1 that was out there.
That's a clever bet then.
Look, we're to the final. Going to be an underdog regardless of who wins.
Well, here's the funny thing is, Anna and Drew Dog bought us all $2 tickets on the national championship.
Jerry's the only one alive.
Jerry has Ohio State.
Wrong.
No, I'm out.
Sean
has Texas.
Sean has Texas.
But no one has Notre Dame.
No one.
That's the one team no one got. So it could be Notre Dame. We will find out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Let's take a look at today's punch menu. Let's see what's on the program today, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Okay. There we go. It's the remix.
That's a great remix there.
It really is. We have a dad insisting who the GOAT NBAer is and our comedy clip of the day. We offer our gambling advice and a daily segment called Picks at 1236 and a ton of great numbers to get you ready to play some bets and lines of the night. Plus, we close the show with legendary handicapper Kenny White's Dog of the Day. And then we have our little cute dog of the day to end. We gave out some winners yesterday on the program. I had the Notre Dame Penn State over. Didn't look good in the first half.
Oh, my God. You really had the over in a game that was the deadest of ass unders, and you still found a way to get there?
Again,
you went against Kenny White, and you won?
I didn't hear what Kenny White said. It was
the under.
He did have. I had the over.
I liked it. Thankfully, we didn't bet the under.
I liked the over. I liked the over because it was a new turf. Everyone said it felt fast.
It was a new turf. Yes.
It was a new turf. In the pregame, they were saying all the former players who were running on it said it felt fast, felt firm, and felt like the traction was going to be good. This is the inside information.
Too bad the Dolphins didn't have that, right?
Right. Well, the Dolphins did help me win the fantasy championship. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, time for top of show breaking video. Here we go. We got a couple for you. And in an epic moment of pros versus Joes, Jeff, you remember how we talked about Bryson DeChambeau. We watched the videos. Alex and I showed him. We showed him with you, I think, where he was trying to get a hole-in-one by hitting a golf shot over his house. Do you recall those?
I vaguely do.
He did it for, I think, on the 16th day, he got a hole-in-one. Every day he got...
16th day of Christmas?
16th day of Christmas. So on like day 4, he had 4 balls. On day 6, he'd have 6 balls, 8 balls,
so
right?
it just increased by the amount
of the day,
he
right.
had more chances to get there by the amount of days.
Right. On the 16th day, he finally got it. So
that's a lot of math we got to do.
It's a lot of math. Yeah, 16, 15, 31, 44. Anyway, about 100 shots. So anyway, he thought he got a lot of heat. He got a lot of people. I mean, we were watching this. Everyone was following.
People liked it, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. So he invited a fan to his house. He gave the fan 7 hours of hitting shots over his house. And if this person could sink a hole-in-one within 7 hours, he would give them $100,000.
Man, you better have a good insurance policy on that house.
Roll the clip, Ryan. Here we go. This is swing number. Is this 4 or 5? This is 5. This is the winner. Crank it up, please. Oh, there's no audio? Was there music? All right.
5th shot?
5th shot! I don't know why he's hugging a man he has to give $100,000 to, but he has to.
$100,000 for DeChambeau's like $1 to you and I, though.
Exactly. Or like $130 that I'll be getting in cash very soon.
But that's 5 shots.
5 swings. Took DeChambeau maybe 100.
That's amazing.
Yeah, here's the replay from the different angle.
I would have been so scared I would have taken out every single window in the front.
I would hope that you think we'd put up some wood panels, but he hit it in 5 shots. The guy's got $100,000.
It'd be like that. What was that commercial where the golf ball just keeps whizzing around the house? This was an insurance commercial back in the day, I think.
I don't remember that one.
Maybe I'm merging 2 commercials together.
You could be.
Maybe.
Anyway, that's pretty cool. So great video, but let's get into the swing of things and talk NFL playoff football. Jeff, this might be the coolest clip that we've had of the year so far. Whoever put this together, well, we'll see the name in a second. This is every one of the quarterbacks that's starting in an NFL playoff game this weekend in high school talking to the camera. Watch this, Jeff. Roll it.
Give them the opportunity to, maybe even
retire
early because I'm getting the scholarship and they don't have to pay for my college.
It went well. It was a great spring, I think. I mean, we got a lot of good work in. And
he looks great.
Personally, I like it.
Okay, look at Baker Mayfield.
Baker looks the exact same, just looks younger.
That's
same with Stafford.
Stafford looks identical.
Yeah, so it looks the exact Stafford.
Little things that I needed
and
to
then
work
there's
on
Sam Darnold, who kind of looks the same haircut.
Yeah, the mole on his face has gotten smaller.
Jane Daniels, this is only like, 4 years ago? Jordan Love.
In college for a long time. Jordan Love looks very different. Mahomes.
Now, Mahomes still has looks like an alien.
Just looks aged. Josh Allen.
There's Joshy.
Just de-aging. Yeah, all these guys, it's a little de-aging. Bad lighting on C.J. Stroud.
And Justin Herbert. And then I thought this would be in black and white, but it's not. It's Russell.
Be nice. He's still.
Be nice. You just made an age joke about me.
He's younger than you are, but
yes, he
everyone's
is.
Younger than you
he doesn't
are,
have more money than me.
I'm going to also say that's wrong, too.
Anyway, that's a pretty cool clip.
You should have made that joke again about Bo Nix, but then Bo Nix was in college for 7 years.
He was. And now there's the guy, is it Cam? Who was the tight end for Miami who played 9 seasons?
Oh,
was it McCormick?
That.
His last name was McCormick,
I think.
McCormick.
I don't remember his first
name.
Played
for Cam, right? Yeah, that was right. Okay, Cam McCormick. He played for 9 years. I don't know how you get away with that. But anyway, excellent clip. Comedy clip of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We're setting this one up. So, Jeff, is LeBron James the GOAT basketball player in your mind? Who's the GOAT to you? In your lifetime, let's say.
In my lifetime.
But you saw Jordan play. I mean, technically.
Trust me. I saw Michael Jordan play in person on the Washington Wizards. So
no, you didn't really.
Yeah.
How old were you for that?
Oh, boy.
Teenager?
When they played the Nets in when it was Continental Airlines Arena back in the day. Rest in peace, Continental Airlines. Yeah. But oh goodness, it had to have been like 2002, 2001, something in that.
Well, that's pretty cool to say you saw Jordan play.
So I mean, the Nets won 111-69, I think was the final score of that game.
I never saw Jordan play live. I saw him on TV a lot.
I saw Kobe actually a bunch. Seeing at their peak, again, I don't remember Jordan. I don't remember the shove on Byron Russell. I don't remember that.
which was a push off.
But for people I remember, it's LeBron. For what I remember.
LeBron, yeah. Okay.
For what I remember, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to probably, I saw Kobe play in his prime. I saw him play live a million of times, which was really exciting. But LeBron is pretty cool. So anyway, this dad won't let his kid out of the corner until he admits that LeBron is the greatest. And the kid's wearing Jordan colors.
This is what happened when you say LeBron not the GOAT. Say LeBron the GOAT.
The kid won't say it.
LeBron the GOAT. All right, well, you go sit right here. You go stay right here. You're not moving until you say LeBron to go. Say LeBron to go. Say LeBron to go.
Now!
You go stay right here then.
Is that? Should we call child services on that?
That's bad parenting.
I think we should. Someone check on that kid. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's do a roll call. Let's see who we got in the chat room last night. And right away, I see Joey B with the Jeff Parles line. Are you ready? Jeff Parles. Odds that Jeff Parles could make the Bryson DeChambeau hole-in-one challenge in 16 days, plus 25,000. How's your golf
How many
swing?
zeros?
That's 3 zeros. 25.
3 zeros. So that's 250 to 1. That is a horrible number. It should be a lot longer than that.
How many days would it take you?
Oh, geez. I mean, again, I think I would. If you made a bet, over under windows damaged at Bryson DeChambeau's house from me, I would take the over. But boy, geez, it would take a very, very long time.
I think within like 20 days.
I have no career hole-in-ones.
But just think about 20, 19, 18.
Putt hole-in-ones, but not
same.
really,
Well, same. Yeah, the windmill can be tricky, but I just feel like you're gonna get into the routine of that swing, and that it could be done. I don't know. Of course, 5 swings. That guy's amazing. So, all right, check in on the Punchy's question. Kickoff question. Give me a lock on a total or a prop from one of the NFL playoff games this weekend. Keith, I like the Ravens to score the most points this weekend at 6-1. You son of a... All right. Reno Paul. Now, Reno Paul was on the show the other day. He gave out a bet. Every team scores a touchdown, and I think it was plus 150 or 115, something like that. He also likes total made field goals over the weekend at 21.5 or game points combined at 277.5. Missed extra points under 1.5. Those are good props. Carson Beck transferring to Miami. Okay, we're not reading that one. Reno Paul. Jeff Parles to get punched in the face before the end of the show, minus 180. What?
Who is that, Reno Paul?
Wait, I can't. My eyes are. Yeah. Reno Paul. Why are those? We're lovers here.
Reno, you know what? Maybe Reno Paul wants to get punched in the face. I don't know. I chose violence early in the show with you
did.
With calling you old, even though you're not that old.
Thank you.
That's me trying to smooth things over here.
That was before Baker Mayfield's parents stole all his money. Did Baker Mayfield's parents steal money?
I have no idea what he's talking about, but who knows?
That's Eve Natola. All right, we got a tease from Dean Helt. I got a tease for you. Chargers plus 3 to Rams plus 8.5. 110 wins 100.
Always good to tease through 0, but that's a different discussion for a different time.
That's the name of your biography, Tease Through 0.
No, it's not.
Chapter of your book?
No. Well, there are people that are a lot smarter than me that I can explain that better, but you're never supposed to tease through 0. You lose part of the empirical value.
I think Chris talked about it last week or a couple weeks ago, actually. Even Natola says Magic Johnson's the greatest, so I don't know. It's a tough one. A lot of great NBA
point guard of all time.
He was the best. I did see him play, actually, after his comeback. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Punchies, for being in the chat room. If you're watching and you're not subscribing to our channel yet, please click subscribe. And after 5 minutes, you'll be allowed into the chat room, and you can tell us whatever you want to tell us. We're all for it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Lines of the Night. Here we go, Lines of the Night. We have several for you today. All right, Jeffrey, we're going to have you kick off Lines of the Night because you have some college stuff on last night's game.
Yeah, we'll go one by one here.
Let's do it.
First off, one that did not make the cut, I'm just going to throw out real quick from our friends over at OptiStats.
Love OptiStats.
Last night marks the only time this century there were 5 game-tying or go-ahead scores, multiple interceptions, a 50-plus yard touchdown, and a game-winning field goal in the last 10 seconds, all in the fourth quarter of any FBS or NFL game this century.
This century.
Yeah. It's over 25,000 games. It's pretty amazing.
And honestly, because I had the game on for the first half, and I was kind of working, and I had it on the corner. Then at halftime, there was some country artist singing.
You hate Penn State, don't you?
I don't. No. I could have won $13. I mean, but yeah, my 2 favorite teams are Pitt and whoever's playing Penn State.
13 times 10 is 130, by the way.
Thank you. But anyway, so the second half, I got to sit down and actually watch and enjoy, and I'm like, well, my over's not going to hit. Well, and then that magical fourth quarter.
For 25 minutes, it was 25 minutes of game time. It was pretty ugly.
It
was. That fourth quarter was something else. But Penn State, again, found a way to lose the game.
This is about the laterals.
The pitchy woo-woo on
as
the last
Scott Van
play of
Pelt
the game.
calls it, yes.
Because of the laterals on the final play of the game, Penn State's wide receivers ended up with 0 catches for -3 yards. which is impossible.
It is. It sounds impossible.
That's what Penn State did. No catches for wide receivers last night. They're only
just running backs and tight ends.
Running backs and Tyler Warren and the backup.
He's going to be a number one pick, right?
Oh, he's going to first rounder for sure.
Yeah, that's an insane stat. Then you might hear that or see that stat and go, "Oh, it must have been cold weather. Maybe they were just running the ball." No, it was beautiful weather down there in Miami to play football, and that's just a mind-boggling stat. I just and that interception that Aller threw at the end of the game, you could just see James Franklin's face for that whole last drive. He was just, he's like, I still haven't beat a good team. All right, what else do you have for that? Tracks, by the way, is
Ryan,
the name of that
go
one.
ahead to the next one there. There we go. There's James Franklin.
There it is.
There's our friend Stu Gotts. If you bet James Franklin on your in a big game, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Franklin 4-20 against top 10 opponents.
4-20.
Making 1-15 against top 5 opponents. I'll just throw this out there real quick with Franklin. I do not think it was his fault last night. He coached a totally reasonable game. Yeah, and I got out-coached out of the half, but Freeman and Notre Dame have done that pretty much to everyone all year. And look, the decision at the end of the game, you have 2 timeouts.
I know.
50 seconds to go. You, of course, go try to win the game in regulation.
Yeah.
Aller, who was bad all night.
He did not have a good game.
Got very well. The first penalty that wiped out the first interception in the end zone, that was a penalty.
Yeah,
the second
barely,
one,
but yeah.
The second one, oh boy, I hated that
one.
call.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
Triple coverage. Warren initiated the call. I hated that call all the way around. But look, James Franklin cannot win the big one, and boy, that one's going to last a while. That scar is going to last a while in State College because that was this way everything broke down. This kind of felt like, all right, if they're going to accidentally win a national championship,
this is the year.
Kind of got to be the year it's going to be. And boy, that really hurts moving forward for Penn State.
And I saw a Giants fan tweet that with a picture of Drew Aller and said, "Yep, this will be the next Giants quarterback, right?"
Yeah, I mean, Aller's going to go back to school now.
You think?
Oh well, he was already going to anyway.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so
that's
why Pabula left, was because Aller had already told him he was going to come back. So
yeah, and the fact that kid couldn't stay and that whole rule, they're changing that.
Regardless, Missouri benefited from that.
Is that where he landed?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize he landed with your team.
Evan Abrams, who does great work over at Action. Notre Dame plus 1.5. That was a closing number. Notre Dame, by the way, covered all numbers in this game by winning by 3.
Wow.
Irish have covered 11 straight games now, which matches the longest streak by any. Well, this is interesting because Notre Dame's not in the conference, but you get the point. Any major college football team in the last 30 years. 2013 Auburn, who of course made it all the way to the national title game and nearly upset Jameis Winston and Florida State.
Yep.
They did cover that national title game. They just didn't win it. And in 1995, I'm assuming that's Ohio State.
It is.
Correct?
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, it could have been Oregon State.
Well, no, that's what they had the running back who liked to drink Grey Goose. What was his name? Claret? Maurice Claret?
No,
is that the
that
Claret year?
Way too early for that.
Oh, Claret was more around the
early 2000s.
Yeah, that's right. God, who was 95 then? Oh, is that?
I'm going to look it up. It was John Cooper was still coaching.
Oh, God, John Cooper. Jeez.
They lost to Peyton Manning and the Tennessee Volunteers in the Citrus Bowl that year.
Wow. All right. Well, there you go.
Bobby Hoying was the quarterback.
Is he still somewhere on
Eddie
the team?
George was there. Terry Glenn. As always, a lot of good, solid pros. Orlando Pace, that guy was pretty good, too.
He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. Orlando Pace was a wall.
Had plenty of guys.
Plenty of guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to a few of my lines of the night. I'm going to go more. Oh, sorry. What? What? Oh, we have one more. I apologize, guys.
Go ahead, Ryan. Flip through it.
Oh, the kicker.
Yeah, Mitch Jeter, who dealt with a lot of injury this year.
Yeah.
So that's why he was 6-12 in the regular season, dealing with
a groin injury?
Yeah, groin.
For a kicker, that's the worst injury you can have.
Jeter's been awesome. Only one missed kick in the playoff.
I think he was 7 of 8. Yeah,
7
or something
of 8
like that.
So far in the postseason.
When they lined up for the kick, do you think he was going to hit it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you really?
Yes.
After all the troubles he's had, but he's been nails lately.
He was a South Carolina transfer. He was really good at South Carolina. Bad earlier in the year because of injury, and once you saw he was healthy at the beginning of the playoffs, I was like, okay, he's back to being a good kicker. My whole thought was, again, having the Notre Dame bets trying to get to the final, was get it within 50 yards, he's going to make the kick.
Yeah.
And they got it within 50 yards, and he made the kick.
And he drilled it. All right. Okay, lads, it's time for my lines of the night. We're going to go more NFL action here. Now, I found this one interesting. So this is the longest, this is a chart, longest active Super Bowl droughts. So what team has not won the Super Bowl in the longest? And yes, I know Jets won Super Bowl 3, and since then the Packers and Chiefs have. But if you want to go to franchises, Arizona, the Cardinals have never won. Yeah, take a look up there.
I'm
The
looking
Cardinals.
backwards.
Cardinals, it's been 74 years in existence. They've never won a Super Bowl. And, of course, we have the Lions, who I still think are going to end it. But then you have Browns, Falcons, Bills. Bills have a shot. Chargers have a shot. And pretty interesting stats, though. Any team jump out and surprise you the most?
No, I mean, look, you have all the teams that have never won it. This is a great shot, by the way, right now. But you look at it, yeah, it's all these teams that have never won it before. The Lions, remember, the Lions, the Browns.
Lots of NFL championships.
Only, not counting the expansion era teams of the Texans and the Jags, are the only teams not to ever at least get
to a Super Bowl. The Cardinals, well, I saw the Cardinals Super Bowl.
You were there.
I was there, baby. That was the best game ever.
Super Bowl appearance, and it was one of the 5 best Super Bowls of all time. You'll say it's the best one because
it has 2 moments. I mean, it has James Harrison's 100-yard return, and it also has Santonio Holmes' catch.
3, because everyone, the third moment in that game, the Fitzgerald touchdown, that in most circumstances would have won the Super Bowl, was one of the best plays you'll ever see from a wide receiver.
Silence it was the quietest because it was predominantly. And as he ran by us down the 50, I went, oh, my God. And then I turned to a buddy. I said, all right, under 2 minutes. This is Ben Roethlisberger's Hall of Fame drive. If he does this, he's in the Hall of Fame.
And he did it.
And he did. And Santonio Holmes.
He'll be there at some point.
He's going to get in on first ballot. First ballot? What are you talking about? 2 rings. He's like 3rd all time in passing. I mean, come on. Only guy with 2, 3, 500-yard games. He is first. If Eli Manning gets in.
Here's the thing, though.
There's no doubt about this.
Here's the thing. Kurt Warner didn't go first ballot. And
Kurt Warner won 1 ring.
But Warner was the better Warner's better than all these guys, quarterbacking wise.
I don't know about that. I liked Kurt. I was a big Kurt Warner fan. So, Roethlisberger is a guaranteed lock first ballot. First ballot!
I don't think it's a lock.
Let's place a bet right now.
He probably will go for, well, you know what? Actually, I need to do a little more research before I guarantee this. I need to see who else is in his class first.
Well, remember it was going to be Brady, but Brady came back.
Yeah, Brady's after him.
Correct. Well, because he came back for that additional year. What about Eli Manning then right now? Does he get elected
first? Eli Manning should not get in first ballot.
Not first ballot.
100% getting in
of course, but he beats Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. 2 Super Bowl rings.
2027.
Now, we've talked about this as well. Jim Plunkett, who has 2 rings, not in. But Eli Manning never missed a game and played in the hardest city to play football.
Eli's getting in.
But not first ballot?
I think he is getting in.
I think because of his name, he gets in.
By the way, just so you know, the 2027 class, the other guys who are first-time eligible at that point are Adrian Peterson, who is close.
He's close. I mean, the thing with the stick is going to hurt him a little bit.
Antonio Brown, no, even though he was a great player.
Stats-wise, should be just a nutball, yeah.
Richard Sherman probably gets in. Gronk.
Just for the face. Gronk is
definitely
in.
Gets
Gronk's
in.
a first ballot.
Eric Weddle, interesting one, who probably won't get in, but had a really nice career. Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Cam Newton.
No.
Probably not.
No.
For Cam Newton, for 3 years, was the best quarterback
for 3 years, not long enough.
Not getting in. Le'Veon Bell also eligible that
Another
year.
guy.
No chance.
No chance.
Yeah. So.
But Antonio Brown will get into the Hall of Fame. Not first ballot, but he's crazy. But his numbers are unbelievable.
Wow.
He was the best receiver in the league. You don't think Antonio Brown gets in, right?
Based on what he's become, he will not get in.
But you're judging on the field.
No, but you have to be a representative of the league
it's
outside, off the field.
How's Ray Lewis in the Hall of Fame?
So it's interesting.
Ray Lewis killed 2 people.
So let's look at like Terrell Owens and those guys. Like T.O. obviously a lot. It turned out post-retirement to be a lot more sane than obviously Antonio Brown.
I did a commercial with Terrell Owens, by the way. Owens.
I play blackjack with Terrell Owens at Cromwell.
And don't call him Terrell, by the way.
Yeah.
Wait, 2 weeks ago you played with him?
No, not 2 weeks ago. No, that would have been... I would have told that story last week. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did a thing with him. He was cool.
So I don't know. I think at some point...
Antonio Brown.
He will get in, but it's going to be a long while, and it could also be a Veterans Committee thing, like at that point.
You look at those numbers for that run.
On the field, there's no argument.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no argument on the field.
All right, let's take a look at a few things I have here, a few more. This is from, it's Adam Schefter, but it's via our man Hembo, who's been on this program before. Hembo, underdogs are 69 and 105 all-time on Wildcard weekend, an average of 1.5 upsets per season. I love that. At least one underdog has won a game in the wildcard round in 40 of 46 seasons, dating back to 1978. So, Jeff, who is the team? Who's the wildcard team that has the best shot, in your opinion?
All right, so are we talking...
Pittsburgh Steelers, correct.
So
let's go to the next one.
Hold on a second. Wait. Are we talking about... See, this is the data. We need a clarification here.
A win. Won a game.
No. Is this a betting underdog or is this a seed underdog? If it's betting, I'll go Commanders. If it's seed underdog, we'll take the chalk and say the Chargers win. But if we're going betting, we're going Commanders.
No one's taking the Texans.
That's what worries me.
Yes.
I don't know a single person who's on Houston
Wait, who
this
took
week.
the Texans? Yeah, who was the only person? Matt Light. Thank you very much.
He's the only person that I've heard this week be on the Texans. Then.
Well, he lives in Texas now, but I don't know why I know he is the only person. He is en route to the Baltimore game. We'll see if we can get a video from him. All right, we have another one here. Let's go to the next one. An interesting line for the playoffs this weekend. Oops. There we go. All right. So, oh, wow. Who put Ravens up front? Okay. So scoring margin versus playoff team. So if you look at Baltimore, they've outscored the good teams, right? Detroit's up there, Philly. This is no surprise. But then you look at the bottom, and then you got Houston, the team that no one believes is going to win.
Man, those Kansas City and Denver numbers are so super skewed because of what happened last week.
38-0.
38-0 with Denver beating the Chiefs backups.
Yeah.
Like, you're really realistically looking at Kansas City's number.
Probably one or two,
realistically
three.
speaking, should be in the top three.
Yeah, exactly.
And Denver's number should be... between being the Pittsburgh, Washington,
the negative area,
Charger area code.
Well, they say, point differential is a key stat. In baseball, run differential to me is a big thing.
Denver,
and in football.
look, Denver, and I'm about to say something nice about the Broncos, so many dart enough from you right now.
Okay.
The Broncos won 10 games this year.
They did.
They won all but one of those games by double digits.
Wow.
So when they won, they put it on you.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. Their only non-double-digit win, of course, came against the Jets, because of course it did, Frank.
Steelers beat them. There you go. Okay, I think we have one last one, right, Ryan? Is it one more? Okay, here we go. This is a silly one. There's another one. Insane stats since 2017. Sean Payton, his record against bald head coaches is 30-12. That's a 71% clip. So, Sean McDermott, look out. So, what do you think about that one?
Can he get hair plugs in time?
Or he could wear a toupee or a hat or something?
Toupee, come on.
Buffalo's going to win that game, but do they cover the 9? Is it a backdoor cover?
This is the hardest. I said this to Ryan yesterday. This is of the 6 games, this is the hardest.
You think?
Or actually, it's not. It's the second hardest, because now Minnesota and the Rams, obviously, with everything that's gone on.
They're going to Arizona, right?
Arizona. But of the AFC side, this is a very hard handicap for me. I lean to taking the points, but I'm not entirely sure.
All right. By the way, the game is moved to Arizona. The name of the stadium there?
State Farm.
State Farm, who's done so much good for the Southern California people. We won't get political. Here we go. All right, let's take a look at the day. Today's date is January 10th, 2025. And we had Caden create a parlay. There's only 4 days. Only 4 national days, Jeff. Now I give you. You have to make a 3-leg parlay out of the days.
Why did you shorten
one
the
of them's
list?
fake. I just want to throw one out. It's a little different. Here we go. Which one of these is fake? National Day. Here we go. Throw one out. Peculiar People Day.
Ooh, that's our show.
National Country Music Day. National Oysters Rockefeller Day. National Houseplant Appreciation Day. Do we have a graphic then, Ryan? Okay. Oh, no, that's not it. Oh, he didn't do the 4-panel one? Yeah, throw the 4-panel one. So there we go. So one of these is fake, but he went ahead and made images for us already. I like the Oysters Rockefeller because they're all dressed up. One of them's fake. Behind the Glass. Peculiar People, says Jerry. Country Music, says Vince.
I'm going National Houseplant Appreciation
Day. All right, Ryan, do you want to take one? Which one do you think's fake?
Every day is National Houseplant Appreciation Day.
Okay, all right. Anyone else? Country Music. The fake one is National Country Music Day. Congratulations to Vince and Ryan. That is not such a thing. Anyway, we combined them all because there is a birthday today. Listen to this. Former heavyweight champ and hero to many a bachelor with his favorite kitchen appliance. George Foreman is 76 years young. Can we see that one more time?
Can we see that graphic again?
Yeah,
is that Albert Einstein in the background?
I guess George Foreman, because it's Peculiar People Day.
But what is going on behind Foreman?
By the way, that looks more like Mike Tomlin than George Foreman.
It's not really Foreman.
But he's got Oysters Rockefeller in front of him.
Up there.
And there's houseplants. Look at all the houseplants aplenty. Yeah, they should have put a grill.
I also like all the 1700 style portraits in the background as well.
Well, that's when people were mostly peculiar.
I'm going to tell you, AI actually did this. AI is getting a little bit better. Still some flaws, but getting a little better, Frank.
I like it. Okay. We're coming up on picks at 12:36, and we have Dave Dameshek coming on the show. Jeff, what are your plans for the game? Do you want to talk about what you're going to do for the games? I'm just curious. You'll be on tomorrow, Sports by the Book?
We're on 8 to 9 tomorrow. We're on at 3 o'clock this afternoon also.
Okay.
What are my plans for the games? I don't know yet.
You're not going to wait because they're staggered. It's not like a full day.
So I don't know. I mean, tomorrow after the show at 9 a.m., I'm going to go get a haircut that I've been only putting off for about 3 weeks now. So,
You've been a busy guy. I'm going to watch the Steeler game. It's on Saturday night. This is another Saturday night
Amazon
game.
Prime, baby.
Yeah, a lot of people in Pittsburgh are already trying to figure out how to do that, but I think they'll show it locally.
On local TV
and they do that for the seniors for sure, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we have Dave Dameshek coming up, and what else do we have coming up? Chris Andrews, possibly. I don't know. Chris is not there yet, right? Dave is not there yet? Okay. All right, Jeff, let's get into picks a little early today then. Why don't we? Roll picks at 12:36. We'll do it, and then we'll get Dameshek in here. Here we go. Picks. We're doing them a couple minutes early. Let's see if anyone in the chat has any comments. Antonio Brown doesn't make the Hall of Fame based on his time off the field.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be in while he's still alive. And that means even if he I know he's young, but it could take a very long time for him to get in.
I don't know. Here we go. Eli won 2 Super Bowls first ballot, says Keith. Joey B, no way, in all caps, Kurt Warner was better quarterback than Roethlisberger. Parles, seriously. I agree with him. We can revisit this next Friday. You guys are
just wrong. You're just wrong.
Kurt Warner, with the greatest show on turf, was awesome.
All the numbers for Warner. Kurt Warner got the Arizona Cardinals,
yes, he
who
did.
have the longest, by the way, stretch without winning the Super Bowl.
How did you know that?
I learned that earlier in the show. He got the Arizona Cardinals to the Super Bowl.
The Steelers.
That is harder.
The Steelers that beat Seattle weren't a very good team. They were a 6 seed and got in with that fluky win over Indianapolis.
Keep in mind, the year before they got the 1 seed and got KO'd by New England.
Please don't remind me of that. I'm trying to.
Well, also, look, Roethlisberger also had a great tackle in that year. They made
Faneca
with the
the great tackle,
the actual tackle.
Why was he able to tackle that guy? Do you recall?
The guy ran right into him, basically.
You know why? No, the guy had been stabbed by his wife that week and was injured, and they didn't think he'd play the game, so he wasn't at full speed.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. So I forget the guy's name, because it was the anniversary of the play,
was it Kenny Moore? No?
The other day. No. But there was a domestic incident where she stabbed him, and he was cut, and he was hurt. So if he doesn't get stabbed, possibly scores. And also, I watched this play yesterday. If he goes for the sideline instead of cutting back inward, he probably takes it to the house for a touchdown. What was the guy's name?
I'm trying to find it.
Anyway,
don't worry, I got you.
Okay. Antonio Brown doesn't make it. Okay, we got another one for that. Tell the truth about the Broncos. Nick Harper. Minidar says, tell the truth about the Broncos, Jeff. Is that a brewing? You hate the Broncos all year.
Minidar claims I hate the Broncos.
But I thought at the beginning of the year,
I thought they stunk at the beginning of the year. They did stink at the beginning of the year, but they turned out to be a reasonable team.
So who's the rookie of the year? We had this as a
for offensive rookie.
For offensive rookie. Jane Daniels, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, or Bo Daniels.
There's no conversation. It's him. The Commanders won 12 games this year with a win total of 5.5.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff plays a nice role, but if Daniels wasn't anywhere near as good as he was, they win 7.
Brock Bowers had a great season.
Look,
with bad quarterbacks.
If I had a ballot,
right?
If I had a ballot, I would go Daniels 1, Bowers 2, Bo Nix 3. That would be my ballot 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And it's not that this discourage what Neighbors did. Neighbors had awful quarterback play and went over 1,000 yards. That's amazing.
And you put off a haircut for 3 days. Brock Bowers has put off a haircut for the last 3 years. He's bald. He's like
that's
22.
different than needing a head. That's different, though.
Well, good thing he's not playing Sean Payton.
He's not coaching against the Broncos this week.
This is the saddest, best sports trivia I've ever heard. Aaron O'Connor. Wait, what is she talking?
What trivia do we have?
What is she referring to? Which trivia was she referring to? What did I just hear?
Hit it again.
What?
She's talking about the stabbing.
Oh, I'd already forgotten about it. But anyway. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take... I'm sorry. I don't see him. He's not here? I know, but is he here? No. Well, I was going to do him with him. I thought we could all talk picks. All right, Jeff, what's your pick, sir?
Am I making the pick now?
Yeah.
Commanders.
You like the Commanders?
Yeah, I like the Commanders. Now, I also like the over in this game as well. It is, Frank, Tampa Bay usually is a very, very warm climate all year round. It's only going to be 57 degrees at kickoff.
Good football weather, but yeah.
Reasonable football
That's
weather.
why that's DC weather.
So it's more DC in October weather more so than anything. But I like the Commanders. We'll take the 3. We'll take a sprinkle on the money line. I think they win a high-scoring game, and they advance to take on the Detroit Lions in the second round of the playoffs.
I will root for Washington easily. For my pick, I am going to go ahead and do a prop bet since I was asking you about prop bets. As Vince will confirm as the person we give the picks to daily so he can get them up there. The Chucker bet, as I affectionately call it, the longest completion for quarterbacks. I see Bo Nix at 34.5 against a Buffalo defense where they could be down big. They could be throwing the ball a lot. Bo Nix, I see him hitting a long one to Cortland Sutton. I like it at 34.5. So I'm taking Bo Nix over 34.5 yards longest completion, and give me the 9.5 points on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll say it now.
You did it.
It's too many points for a divisional game. It's the third time they play. I don't need to regurgitate the same things everyone has heard. Knife wound is what Aaron just typed. That's the first time anyone's ever typed in the chat the 2 words knife wound. It won't be. It won't be the last. All right, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. On the other side, Dave Dameshek is setting up shop in his awesome Steeler Man Cave. We'll be right back in 30. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Punchlines. I'm here with Jeff Parles because it's a Friday here in South Point Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the show, a man, I believe this is his 3rd or 4th time on the show. Chris Andrews and he are friends on Twitter. We're friends on Twitter now, too. And he's a Pittsburgh guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dave Dameshek is here, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! All right, Dave.
Hey, I brought Tom Barrasso with me, too. See, there he is.
Number 35.
We can use all the positive juju we can get.
I like it.
In fact, we could use juju weighing in on this one. Where are you at there, Smith-Schuster?
He's not a Steeler anymore, but he has a ring. This is another thing. Antonio Brown has a ring. Juju Smith-Schuster has a ring. It's kind of infuriating as a Steeler fan. By the way, Tom Barrasso, great goalie for the Penguins, obviously. Probably what I've heard from friends in the media in Pittsburgh, the unnicest person they ever had to deal with. He was not nice.
I have heard much of the same. And sometimes, listen, everybody doesn't get along with everybody. But when the entire world weighs in against you, it's probably you.
Yeah. One you hear it once, but when you hear it 30 times. All right, we're talking NFL playoffs. Jeff Parles is here. I know you guys have never met. There's Jeff Parles. There's Dave.
I am a follower and a fan. Hello, Jeff.
How about that?
Good to see you, Dave.
There you go.
As always.
So, Dave, when you look at the playoffs, is there a game that jumps out? Like if you had $100 left and you had to place one bet, what game are you looking at the most?
Well, obviously, if we're talking about rooting interests, where my heart is and all that, the answer is obvious there. Related matter, you say Tom Barrasso may be the most unpopular sports figure in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin's making a run at that based on what I'm seeing on social media from the populace. Everybody's downtrodden out there.
Totally.
Everybody's real down in the dumps before this one.
Trade them.
Beyond that, I'm fascinated from a distance whether the Steelers are playing the Ravens or not. Equally in Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. I talk about it all the time against people smarter than I am about the notion of QB wins and whether or not that's a real statistic. And of course, my argument is, what else are we doing? Until they cancel the tournament that they play after the regular season, and at the end of that tournament, they give a trophy to the one team that survives it. Until they do away with that, it does matter who wins those games that get to that, including the one that wins the trophy. And on one hand, we're in the 21st century, we're both way more cynical and darker and meaner than we've ever been, but also there is an element of greater empathy. So online empathy, I call it. You don't need to be genuinely empathetic as long as you express the right things on social media, like poor Josh Allen, poor Lamar Jackson, stuck in the age of Patrick Mahomes. Otherwise, they would be great. Now, that's valid because I think that Lamar and Josh Allen probably rightly can be called two of the top dozen quarterbacks in the Super Bowl era.
Right.
And yet they're tracking towards the same fate as Dan Marino, which is remarkable that, Fran Tarkenton, Jim Kelly, there are a couple of those guys out there, but Marino much more than, let's say, Connor McDavid.
Right.
Dan Marino kind of feels like a man on an island all by himself.
Totally.
Like he's the one guy who is held up and never got a title. We're dragging towards at least a couple of these high-end quarterbacks in the quarterback league never getting it. Now, Devil's Dameshek-ing all of what I just said. Do you feel bad for the aforementioned Jim Kelly and Dan Marino? Oh, they were stuck with Montana in the 46 defense. Those poor souls. Fran Tarkenton. He would have gone down if it weren't for Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw and Snake Stabler. There have always been other good players in the league. Nevertheless, this thing about Allen and Lamar have to get it done. Like, at best, only one of the two by definition can. And so and a month from now, at minimum, one of those two guys is still Lombardi list. I find that fascinating.
Yeah. So, I mean, who do you think has, give me your Super Bowl matchup. Let's just jump forward here. Who do you think's in the Super Bowl?
I mean, this is the ultimate curmudgeon mention, but 36 of the last 48 Super Bowl participants had a bye. I don't see any reason why that's going to change for all the noise and all the stuff I just said. I think Mahomes and company understood in February of 24, as soon as they wrapped that last tournament up, they said, let's never do that again. Yeah. Let's never have to go 3 games again to get to the Super Bowl. I think they legitimately understand that and position themselves all season long to do exactly where they are right now, putting their feet up and watching the rest of it. The Lions are a little bit murkier. I do think spiritually we owe it as a football nation to root for the Lions. I know it wasn't necessarily the smartest strategy to have Jahmyr Gibbs and everybody else out there running around in a meaningless game against the Niners a couple of weeks ago. On the other hand, thumbs up in the age of load management for Dan Campbell to be like, yeah, we're playing to win. We're always playing to win. Yeah, we are always going to have our foot on the gas and kicking ass, and that's the way we're going to approach things. And I think the NFC is harder to figure out because no rookie QB has ever taken his team to a Super Bowl in 58 years of Super Bowl doing. So I don't think that Jaden Daniels is going to do that. But outside of that, I can see how the cookie crumbles is a different matter. But I think all the other teams on the NFC side are capable of winning 3 games against high-end competition. How that breaks is tough to call. I'm going to ride with the Lions here. They have been ripening on the vine and built, and this is their time. Doesn't mean they're going to get it, but I think in as you see Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn taking interviews and everything else, it doesn't add up to them getting it, but it spiritually, like I say, it feels like this should be their time. What would be the best Super Bowl would be Lions and Bills.
Lions and Bills,
one of those two franchises that can never win one would wind up winning one. But I'm going Lions Chiefs. I'm sorry to be to go chalk here, but that's what the numbers tell me. 75% of teams with a bye get to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I just shuddered at the prospect of a Detroit Buffalo.
Why? Why wouldn't you want that? It'd be fun.
Because them descending on whatever city it happens to be, and it's
New Orleans, right?
Go around. That city would be in big trouble, with those two fan bases.
All the tables being broken.
For what it's worth. Every table in New Orleans.
Every table by noon on Tuesday. How are we out of beer already?
That would be pretty. Well, I mean, what? It's 3 for 1 to begin with already.
It's 3 for 1, as I've told. The first time I ordered a beer in New Orleans, I said, I'll take a Miller Lite. The guy put 3 in front of me. I said, no, I just want 1. He goes, it's 3 for 1, bro. There you go. I was like, oh, okay.
Perfect place to do it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, New Orleans, what a party that would be for those long-suffering fan bases to get to meet up down there.
But you don't want to see that, Jeff?
I would. Well, first off, I don't like the Bills. You know that,
right? You're a Jets guy.
Yeah, but I'm with Dave on the bye teams here. Now, I have Kansas City getting through the AFC a lot easier than people think. Like, yeah, they were lucky. Yeah, they won a lot of close games. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes had the best numbers in the fourth quarter of any quarterback this year. Yeah. So they're going to come out of the AFC. Dave, if we get Eagles and Lions in the NFC title game, that is just a mega duty, unbelievable game where that's a coin flip. I lean Philadelphia because I like their defense a little more. But Dave, if we get Philly, Detroit, that is a whale of an NFC title game.
With Jalen Hurts at quarterback, not Kenny Pickett, of course.
A couple of things. My co-host Kevin Hench said on our Wildcard preview this week on Shek's show that it's an interesting point that somehow I hadn't done the math on. The week started with Jalen Hurts is still on the injury report. Are we assuming he's going to play when there's a chance he might? And I hadn't done the straight up what that actually means medically. It's pretty weird that you have a guy. I know that the protocol is the protocol and good for it, but I mean, this has gone on for a few weeks now.
Yeah, it has.
The severity of concussion must be pretty bad. It's Friday. I mean, it took this long. How many? Not days, weeks for Hurts to clear protocol. Little weird. On that side of things. But yeah, I mean, I hear your larger point. I'll pat myself on the back by saying that's one of the things I got right, that the Eagles defense appeared going into the season to maybe be what might undo things. I said, listen, they are going to figure that thing out. They are young, but talented at all three levels, and it will turn into a unit that can carry the day for them, and so it has. So yeah, obviously the Eagles defense is in a better spot than Detroit's defense is. It would be obviously a magnificent game. I suspect we're more likely, as I said a couple minutes ago, to see someone knock off one of those teams and disrupt what we assume. I mean, some of the storylines are so great, as they always are at this time of the year, but if the Rams survive their game on Monday night, you want Matt Stafford rolling back into Motor City for a big one.
Wow.
That's a fascinating game, but that's just one of them. About the Chiefs, and it should be a little bit easier than we perceive it to be. I think that, I have my doubts. I know the Ravens have kind of turned it around defensively over the last month. Let's see them do it in a big spot, though,
exactly,
before we completely sign off on that. But at worst, the Chiefs ain't catching both those teams. That they're gonna get one of those teams,
right?
In the Ravens or Bills. So it's not like they have to go through both. Which, of course, if you're Lamar Jackson right now, and things go chalk, like you're right now. Before you even get to the divisional round, imagine his mindset right now. I likely, to get to the Super Bowl, my first ever, to get over the hump here, I am going to have to go to Arrowhead and knock off Patrick Mahomes. Before that, though, I probably am going to have to go to Buffalo and knock off Josh Allen,
right?
In frigid. But before you go, though, Lamar, small matter to deal with. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the arch rival who you rarely play well against. And this time you have the added burden of the curse of supposed to. You're supposed to handle this team. This is a wounded foe walking into Charm City, or limping into Charm City, I should say. This should be an easy game for you, Lamar. Just go out there and handle business, and then on to the bigger fish you have to fry to get your career where it's supposed to be, which is holding a Lombardi.
Right.
Just beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. All the pressure is on him, except that there's some on Justin Tucker, who had the worst season of his career.
Bad.
But listen, you can lean on the X factor in the offense. It's Derrick Henry, right? Well, kind of, sort of. What has unlocked this offense over the last couple of years is Zay Flowers. Oh, he's not playing.
Oh, he's out.
Well, we can lean on Rashad Bateman. The guy who's had the career-long plague of dropping the ball? Yeah, right as rain, Ravens. Go get him, man.
Yeah.
You got this an easy one. We'll see you in Buffalo next week, everybody, right?
It's
Nothing
Mark.
to worry about.
I just keep an eye on Mark Andrews. This is the guy that always hurts the Steelers. Now, Jeff, you are a Jets fan, as we know. A lot of chatter online about let me ask you this proposed trade that we see all over. Would you trade for Mike Tomlin to be the head coach of the Jets? Because they're saying
it depends on what would
couple first-round picks, probably.
No, I wouldn't give up multiple.
Sean Payton got 2 first rounds.
I would not. Payton got.
He got 2 first rounders.
Payton got 1, but I'll have to double check.
Yeah, I would have to check.
Kevin O'Connell, of course, Jay Glazer set everything ablaze last weekend. Hey, there hasn't been any talks. Kevin O'Connell teams are going to reach out to Minnesota about trading for Kevin O'Connell with him only having 1 year left. Maybe you trade I wouldn't trade more than one for any head coach,
right?
Especially when you can go out in the market where Mike Vrabel's available,
right?
Who is a high level coach as it is. Who again, I'd be stunned if Vrabel doesn't end up in Foxborough at this point.
Anyway, so let's talk about the Steeler game. 9.5 points. I think Lamar Jackson has 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in the playoffs or something ridiculous like that. So 9.5 points. Did take the Steelers, and can you see them winning?
I mean, they certainly have a puncher's chance.
Sure, exactly.
It's ludicrous to suggest that the people. I know that people insulate themselves emotionally from the pain that they foresee on the near horizon by saying like they got no chance. They just let's get to the off season and then we can get back to complaining about Tomlin all the time and who's going to be our quarterback in 25. Obviously, Pittsburgh has a shot in this game against their age-old rival, who Tomlin has, is the OG of figuring out the way to limit Lamar the runner. I am, as objectively as I can possibly say this, that is in terms of their head-to-head history, goes back to I think now I can't remember because I'm dumb, but I think it was 2007. I mean, we've seen the number this big 3 times in the last 17 years. So that means a minimum of 34 head-to-heads, plus some playoff games and everything. The number's only gotten anywhere close to. It opened, I think, it opened at 7.5. Oh, no, it opened at 8.5, right? I predicted 7,
and it jumped
I was
up.
Surprised by how big it was. And then it immediately bounced up.
Correct.
There's just not a ton of evidence that either team double-digit whips the other. I did say 3 weeks ago, as a self-proclaimed Steelers whisperer, and I do have a pretty good track record of telling you what's going to happen with this team on the banks of the 3 rivers week to week. I said, both teams in the teens in the game in Pittsburgh, but I said in Charm City, this is going to be the one that it does wind up with a whipping double-digit win for the Ravens, and that's exactly what had happened. But if you look at that game, when I talk about the curse of Sposta, I know it's not a practical thing, an X and O kind of thing, but you can feel that vibe, and you could feel it watching that game through your television when Russell Wilson, before he's even pulled down to the ground inside the 5 and he fumbles the ball, when he's running there, your mind operates more quickly than the words within it are going to forge, but you could feel like, this is bad for the Ravens. It was if the Steelers get the lead on you, I talk about home field disadvantage, and that is exactly what you will have if the Steelers get to the half and it's a 1-score game. Shame the devil if they have a lead.
Right.
The Steelers have a lead or it's a tie game towards the end of the 3rd quarter. That joint, 75,000 people in full are going to be nervous as balls, and that negative energy. I've talked to a lot of players about this who have been heavy favorites and big underdogs in big spots, because it fascinates me that they will tell you across the board, oh yeah, you feel it. It washes down onto your sideline and the other one positively and negatively. And, the Steelers have some baggage. They don't have the Broncos, as a for instance, I think going into Buffalo, can go in there and rightly play with a devil-may-care attitude. Look, we made the playoffs with rookie Bo and all that, and if we don't win, okay, good season for us. Steelers are in a different spot. Obviously, still, they don't have nearly the pressure that Lamar and Justin Tucker and the rest of those cats do. I mean, a lot of buzz about, is Mike Tomlin done if they lose this game, or will he leave or otherwise? There's some case to be made, like, where's there left to go with John Harbaugh if Todd Monken ends up leaving, Mike McDonald a year removed from him? They're kind of in an odd spot too. If they were to lose this wild card, you could really mess up the Lamar Jackson era at this point by doing it, because again, they kind of, if you like Derrick Henry, another year older, and presumably Monken is going to go and all of that, or at least has taken interviews. They're going to be disrupted if they go out early here. They're going to be that. They're aware of that. They're human beings. They understand that what the stakes are here, and they're going to be nervous for this one. Now, listen, the other side of it is, if Baltimore gets the ball on the first drive, goes down the field and puts 7 on the board, Pittsburgh goes quick 3 and out, and the Ravens go down the field and put another 3 on the board, we'll be like, well, that was a dumb conversation that you were trying to perpetuate, Dave. But if they can just hang in there early, I absolutely think that 9.5, 10 is a ludicrous number between these two teams.
Ryan McCormick gave us a few stats. All-time 36-26 in favor of Pittsburgh. In the month of January, Pittsburgh is 6-1. In Baltimore, in the month of January, the Steelers are 3-0, and in the playoffs, Pittsburgh is 3-1. Pitt hasn't scored 20-plus points since 2020 in this matchup, yet they are 7-2. Lamar against the Steelers, 2-4, has thrown an interception in all 6 starts, never scored an anytime touchdown. Walking in the door as we speak, Mr. Dameshek, is Chris Andrews. Chris Andrews sporting his Penn State shirt. He's still a fan. He's doing it.
Jeff
Anyway, he wanted to say hello. So, Chris, go for it.
I just want to say hello, Dave. Thanks for being on. I had a conference call I couldn't get out of, but I want to show you. I'm wearing my Penn State shirt. I'm not running from loyalty.
And Chris gave me this morning. This is instead of Elf on a Shelf, it's a Yinzer.
I'm watching Yinz. I don't want to be Mr. Nebby or nothing.
Anyway.
Doing no shenanigans.
Don't be doing none of them shenanigans and that. So anyway, this is amazing.
I wish Chris, I know you're invested emotionally with your Lions there. I'm sorry for what happened to him. Not that sorry for what happened to him.
I didn't think you would be. Yeah.
The wish in my house, the wish in my Wilkinsburg home growing up with my old man would have been that both teams lose. But between Notre Dame and Penn State are the two most hated teams in college
Pitt guy,
football. Yeah, of course. It's sort of like, it's funny. I was thinking about it. It's like, for older Pitt fans, it's sort of like the Flyers and Islanders playing for the Stanley Cup. And then the Mountaineers, I guess, would be the Capitals. A little more newfangled, or maybe the Devils for us. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't hate them as much. Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, Chris, I wish you would have been watching 87 and company take down 97. And Draisaitl, that would have put you in a sunnier mood today than that.
I was watching on the internet. My one friend,
your one friend?
Well, yeah,
Chris, we're friends.
I don't have too many, but anyway, he's not a football fan. He kept texting me.
No, not I got friends back in Pittsburgh.
Neely's a West Virginia guy. By the way, Dave, I see your hat. I want to show you what my daughter, my favorite Christmas present. Can you see what it said?
Kennywood sign hat. That's awesome.
I got a Kennywood hat.
Kennywood's the amusement park in Pittsburgh outside of Swiss Vale there. Yeah, it's nice. Very good. That's a great hat.
I literally, if I could hear where my 10-year-old boy Jean-Claude Van Damme or Hoover Dameshek is right now, running around, I would pull him in here because he has on a T-shirt that says the rabbit.
The Jackrabbit.
Yeah,
the Jackrabbit.
I love it. Yeah.
Rabbit's a little different. Yeah. All right, listen, Dave Dameshek. It's really well. Anything else, Chris? Are you good?
No, I wish I was on that call and I couldn't get off. But I do want to say one more thing, Dave. Seriously, for a second. I know you're in Southern California. Stay safe, man. Jeez, This is incredible.
He's in the
what's
Valley.
going
He's
on.
good, right?
Yeah, stay safe. Jeez.
No, the Valley is where it's bad in a lot of places. And, depending on where you are, it's on either side of us and to the north of us. We're weirdly and luckily for now, we're safe, but, thousands, obviously hundreds of thousands of people are not in a good spot right now. It's a heartbreaker out there. If you can spare it, help these people out. You see all the GoFundMe's out there and all of that. Yeah. But the awful times out here, but appreciate that.
Yeah. Go to the Red Cross. Redcross.org is the best place. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Redcross.org is the best place to donate right now, is what I'm saying. So, yeah.
I think that's probably right. Yeah. I'm not an expert on that, but I'll follow your lead there. But hopefully, if nothing else, a wild card weekend provides a respite for everybody who's dealing with all this misery. But terrible times out here.
Terrible. All right, Dave, thank you so much, Dave. I want to thank you. That graphic you have for your Supposed to podcast is the creepiest thing I've ever seen. I tweeted it out. It's very scary. But anyway, great program that you put on. Let people know where they could find you, please, and the best way to follow you.
The show is Shek Show. Track it down anywhere you find your audio podcasts, and especially on YouTube. It's helpful for us. Subscribe on Shek Show. Chris Andrews has been kind enough. Sometimes we throw the bet signal up to answer our foolish what-if type questions. What would happen if that team had gotten to the Super Bowl instead of that team, and what would the line have been on that game, and all that kind of stuff. That's the sort of foolishness that Chris is kind enough to engage with me on social media. Join the fun. All
right, Dave, thank you so much. Go Steelers. Maybe we can talk in a few weeks when we're in the conference championship or the Super Bowl.
So that would be great.
I texted before I go. I texted Chris, and I feel so bad. I texted him before. I think it was last weekend, and I said, "Hey, man, I don't get any buzz from you about the Pitt Panthers basketball team. They're a legit bunch this year."
Yeah, and then the Duke game.
He was like, "Yeah." Then the events of
the Duke game. That Duke game, I had to turn it off. I mean, I'm a giant Pitt fan. That game, they are a good team, but Duke is just very hot right now.
Yeah, crushed them that day. But I did tell Dave,
flag is ridiculous.
Vinny and those guys back there, they were telling me about Pitt, and I just was busy. And I said, Dave, I just didn't have time to pay attention to it. So.
Hopefully you missed that game. All right, Dave Dameshek, thank you so much. Very good. Go Steelers. We'll see you, Dave. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Kenny White's Dog of the Day. What does Kenny have in store for us today? Let's see if it's football, basketball, or pucks.
I'm getting out of here.
Kenny, all right, Chris, we'll see. He likes UCLA. UCLA plus 4.5 at Maryland tonight. I like that because UCLA has to come out and play better after what Mick Cronin said about his squad. Did you see that? Just belittling them, saying they were delusional, they didn't work hard, the coaches, everyone.
They got smacked around by Michigan earlier in the week. They lost in Middle America against Corn, the Huskers, of course, but I do kind of like them tonight.
I do too. I mean, look, if not, there's going to be some big changes.
That is the vaunted UCLA East Coast Big Ten road trip to College Park, Maryland, and Piscataway, New Jersey. Dude, because of course,
ACC game, Cal at Pitt. I can't get over it. All right, and here's our dog of the day, ladies and gentlemen, to end the program. Here we go. What dog do we have today? Oh, do we have it or not? We can skip it. Skip it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great week here. Alex White will be back Monday. Monday's always a big show because we get to talk about all the great stuff. What a great weekend of football if you're a fan. Jerry, thank you. Vince, thank you. And thank you. And stepping into pitch hit to direct the show, Ryan McCormick. Jeff, you're back today at
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Who you with?
Chris and Vinny.
Chris and Vinny. Make sure you tune in. Thank you, everybody. Have a good weekend. Go Steelers. Punchlines, Lines, live in Nevada, every show.